when to give men the benefit of the doubt and when to walk away. First, let's define what is benefit of the doubt. And the Urban Dictionary defines it as to give somebody the benefit of the doubt is to default to the belief that their intentions are honest and not assume malice when there is uncertainty or doubt surrounding the circumstances. And I do believe that in many cases, we should be giving men the benefit of the doubt instead of assuming that he is, up to no good, that he has evil intent. And I see that a lot of relationships they're basically dead in the water before they even start, because women are assuming that men have bad intention. So how do you know the difference? Before you meet, after you've been on a date or two, and when you're actually in a relationship, because I do believe that there are different ways to look at the budding relationship at different stages. So let's go to before you meet. So you're messaging online. The guy stops texting for a day or two. What do? In this case, I believe that if you've already had a few good messages and you want to move it to a phone call or meet as soon as possible, don't assume the worst if he stops texting. A lot of times people message online and forget that they're in the middle of a message. They get busy at work. You forget to log into the dating app. Men the benefit of the doubt if they stop texting. And something I like to do, if somebody says, hey, we should chat or we should meet, and then they just disappear, I like to give them one more chance. And so what I've been doing lately is to send a cute little GIF, one of those little fun little action little memes. And I just wrote into the GIF search bar, where'd you go? And so it's like a person with a big question mark all over their head. And then I just write, hey, where'd you go? And that usually prompts a man to share his number, to say, oops, I forgot, or I've been busy. And just today, I had a great phone call with a guy who had disappeared for a number of days, and I sent him my where'd you go gift. So there's so many ways we can handle this. If you try, you reach out, you ask him, hey, still interested in chatting, and he doesn't respond, then you can choose to just keep moving on. There's a lot of noise in online dating. It's like you entered a giant mall and there's a million people in it, and every time you're in there, there's lots of distractions. So just know that when you're dating online, until you meet, until you've had a date, it's very easy to forget that person. So those are the times when you want to give a benefit of the doubt. Also, if a guy says something about your looks, sometimes he may not say something overtly sexual, but he might comment on how pretty your pictures are or something like that, or what a nice smile you have. You could get triggered and, write the guy off, or you could give him the benefit of the doubt and start focusing on ideas, thoughts, something else. Talk about what he loves about his work and kind of redirect the conversation. And this goes for during the dating phase as well. And so if you've been on a date or two and he doesn't message or call between dates, do you write the guy off? Do you think he's not interested? Do you make up a story? I don't want you to make up a story unless he's consistently just kind of half-assing the whole dating situation. Then you will see that he isn't the right person for you. But if he just is not the kind of guy who likes to message or call between dates, speak up. If you need more communication, ask for it. Especially if you've been on a few dates, and just say, I'm the kind of woman who I really enjoy communicating between dates. But honestly, if you don't know someone well, you don't want to have a lot of communication between dates until you've really gotten to know them, because you can build false sense of connection, of intimacy, until you really, really know who a person is. Another area that people get caught up in assuming the worst is when a man pushes for sex too soon. So again, this is up to you. Set your boundaries early and often. If that's not what you want, and if you progress more slowly and you need to build trust more slowly, you need to let a man know that. Let him know that you're attracted to him and that if and when he has sex with you, it's going to be amazing. But you like to get to know a man over a little bit more time to see how trust is built. So give him the benefit of the doubt if he listens and respects your boundaries. If he doesn't respect your boundaries, this is not the right man for you. Same goes for a man who's on a date and talks about himself too much. This is something that comes up a lot. We can assume that he's selfish. We can assume he's a narcissist. We can assume that he has absolutely no interest in you. Or we can give him the benefit of the doubt and interrupt him and say, hey, is there anything you'd like to know about me? Okay, stage 3, when you're in a relationship. And this is where the rubber hits the road, right? So you've built trust, you have intimacy, you have attraction. And here's a guy who consistently, he doesn't pick up on when you're sad, when you're having tough emotions. Do you give him the benefit of the doubt or not? So this is a case where, again, it's important not to expect men to be mind readers, but to let him know, hey, I'm really sad and this is what I need from you. Men are not as good as women in general at really being emotional, at knowing what to do when you're emotional. They may want to try and fix it, or they may be so uncomfortable with your emotions that they're trying to make you laugh. If that makes you unhappy, you need to take the reins and speak up. I talk about this all the time. Show up, stand up, speak up. Got to do it. If you have done all those things and he consistently still doesn't pay attention when you're sad, then you need to make a choice about whether you want to leave that relationship. Another case in a relationship is a man who stops initiating sex, somebody who used to initiate sex and he stops. Do you write him off? Do you get angry at him? What do you do? Do you give him the benefit of the doubt? And I say yes. You give him the benefit of the doubt and you have a heart-to-heart conversation about sex. It's vulnerable. It's not easy. But if you don't talk about it, you don't really know what's going on for him. Maybe he's feeling distant. Maybe his mind is on something else. Maybe he's busy at work. Who knows? But if you don't talk about it and you don't talk about what you both need sexually, then your relationship can fall apart. And the third thing that I want to bring up, and of course there are many more that I'm talking about in today's video, but the third thing in a relationship is a man who gets super busy or is in a crisis or something's going on in his life and he pays less attention to you. And this is a time when a lot of women just really get triggered and feel like they're not getting the attention they need, and they may make up a story about how he's pulling away, he doesn't love me anymore. And so here again, pay attention to your own triggers and give yourself whatever you need to self-soothe and give yourself the love and compassion you need. And then talk about it. Talk about how, even though he is busy, what can he do to make you feel that he still cares? So communication is key here in all of these cases. And in general, it's important to talk about what you want and need. So let's recap. When do you give a man the benefit of the doubt, and when don't you? I encourage you to initially give a man the benefit of the doubt until he's proven otherwise. But if the same thing keeps happening over and over again, like he's consistently talking about himself and never including you in the conversation, even after you've interrupted him, or he's being overly critical and you feel judged all the time, it's a deal breaker. And I want you to leave him before becoming more involved. Pay attention to the early signs of a man who is inconsistent and whose words and actions do not match. Trust your gut that it's a red flag when someone doesn't follow through over and over again. You want to be with a man who's got great character, somebody who's caring, trustworthy, honest, and reliable. So if you're truly ready for an intimate, lasting relationship, look for those qualities and don't give the benefit of the doubt to men who lack the character traits that are important to you.